Hey, Elon, I got some questions. Something ain't right. Used to wait for years to have you giving yourself over to Christ. You so socialists is just trying to gain fans on the right. Cause in the end, we gonna be the ones that's paying the price. Hey.
It is going off right now, and good point, right? Elon Musk just bought Twitter. He struck a deal and it went through. Now, the question is, what significance does this have for many of us? For those of us who are determined to have free speech back on these social media platforms, and for those of us who are in business and looking at the stock and the market and to see how this is going to influence the finances of the world. What about the other social media platforms in the world? How are they going to respond to this move? This is a transforming thing. This is a life-changing thing. This is one of the greatest moves we've ever seen in this year. We're going to talk about that today. But keep in mind also, guys, we have a reaction video to Bryson Gray coming up in today's show, should I say. Bryson Gray does have a song called Elon Musk where he brings about some really good questions that we are going to talk about today. And the news is in, guys. It says here very quickly, right before we react to Bryson Gray's video, Twitter accept Elon Musk buyout deal. Yeah, for $44 billion. That's a lot of money, boy. Just give me 1 billion and I'll be happy. But anyway, it is said Elon Musk, here is what he will do next. Now, the big question is, what is he going to do with this platform now that he has bought it? He is the rightful owner of Twitter. For those of us who know that free speech, he said, is a free speech absolutist. He believes that people should be able to express their views even when it is different on these platforms. Let's take a look at this news right here. And listen very carefully to what it says here. And this is coming from MSNBC. And let's hear it out.
Elon Musk has bought Twitter for approximately $44 billion. He's going to be paying each share of Twitter $54.20. In a statement released by the company, Mr. Musk said, free speech is the bedrock of a functioning democracy, and Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. I also want to make Twitter better than ever by enhancing the product with new features, making the algorithms open source to increase trust, defeating these spam bots, and authenticating all humans. Yeah. Twitter has tremendous potential. I look forward to working with the company and the community of users to unlock it. No word on whether or not he would take it to a subscription-based model.
Very interesting. So these are things that we need to think about. How is this going to transform free speech? There are many people who are not very happy with this move, by the way. Some say that they will leave the platform altogether. Some are very concerned that this buyout by Elon Musk could spell trouble for free speech. In essence, other people who come on this platform with misinformation create even greater problems for our society. That is part of the fear. So some are seeing this as a problem. Let's take a listen here.
Elon Musk has his hands in a lot already. You likely know his Tesla and SpaceX companies, but the multi-billion-dollar move to buy Twitter could affect the lives of millions of people. One expert says it's not just about the tweets, but how we interact as a society and what we see as reality itself.
Elon Musk will soon own Twitter and promises to slash monitoring in an attempt to foster an environment for free speech, drawing mixed emotions from users.
Competition is good where we can, mix opinions and see which one is maybe worthy.
Elon Musk buying Twitter just worries me in general.
Crystal Jackson worries as midterm elections approach, any move to loosen limits on misinformation, disinformation, or even hate speech could be dangerous.
You're not going to take down posts and people could just lie about anything they want throughout the election and persuade people on a wide scale and nobody's going to monitor that. That's kind of scary.
Others celebrated the announcement, believing big tech has been biased in censoring voices from the right.
You got, the snowflakes like the liberals and stuff who they can say what they want to say, But when the Republicans or whoever's for Trump and Musk, they want to say what they want to say. They don't like that.
UNLV social media expert Mary Blankenship has her concerns about the buy.
I don't want to go outright into a panic.
She says social media sites already fail in an obligation to remove harmful content, and relaxing rules could turn Twitter into a near Wild West of finding credible information, potentially made worse by the use of bots and bad actors.
And mostly troll accounts, because those can be real individuals, so they can go through the human verification process, but their intentions is still to spread incorrect facts that are harmful.
Blankenship says you should never interact with bot or troll accounts, and if you come across a fishy source, do your research before sharing.
Now, we reached out to talk to Musk about his plans through proper channels like his press team and, of course, Twitter. As of now, we haven't heard back. In the studio, I'm Sean Delancey.
Yeah, so these are some of the concerns that people have. Very interesting here. Is it going to be a positive thing that Elon Musk took control of Twitter? We shall see. Is it going to open the floodgate for negative speech or, like as they say, misinformation and things like that, or hate speech? That's an issue that people are concerned with. I want to know where you stand with that. Remember, I'm going to react to a video here going over once again to the Elon Musk to Twitter. This is what's being said here. Congratulations to Elon. You bought it. You did it. Free speech is making a comeback, some people say. Some believe this is the greatest move. Listen to this guy here. Mentlet Torrent said, me to everyone saying they're going to leave Twitter. What are you waiting for? Some people think that, okay, we can't stay on this platform anymore since it is owned by Elon. Now, do you really think Elon is all about free speech in essence? Or do you really think as a businessman, he's thinking of other ways to make money? Or do you think that there might be something else up the sleeve here that he has yet to reveal to many of us? Yeah, so some people feels like this is a good news. Some people feels like it is not. Okay, I'm not going on Twitter. I'm going to stay on truth. There we go. Some also even brought about the question, which is significant. Are you going to bring back the people that Twitter has censored? People like Donald Trump and many others as well. What is Elon going to do with this platform now in his hands? So much more could be said about this, but right now, friends, I want to get to Bryson's video quickly. I wanted to go through these little logistics here, having that discussion. And yeah, man, I think Bryson does have a message for us. And at the end, as always, I also have a message to share with you. Let's brace ourselves for this run. Sit back, hold on to your seat, because I think this man put his finger on many different questions that are yet to be answered. Without further ado, let's now get into the heart of the message.
Scene 4 of Elon Musk. Take 4. Roll it.
In a lot of ways, it's kind of like a Fitbit in your skull with tiny wires.
Hey Elon, I see that you becoming a phenom. People putting faith in you like you someone to lean on. Know you were hoping this was one of those happy theme songs, but it's not. It's how something could seem right but be wrong. But hey, I fight for free speech too. I paid everything on the line for it. How about you? You playing about Twitter? Okay, I hope that goes through, because then there's no more memes. It's about what you can do when you restore everyone's accounts. I'm gonna show you Alex Jones, all of the people that believed in Cuba, now they gone. People banned for saying things that fact checkers said was wrong, but ended up mainstream news. It was true all along. Hey, Elon.
Yeah, good questions to bring about here. The first thing he speaks about is how people put faith in Elon as if he is some type of divine. And I want to say quickly, he is not. We got to be careful. But nevertheless, we should not overlook the influence in the work that the man has done. Come on, man. We can't deny it. To top it off, what I like here is that he's going to restore these people that were taken off Twitter because of their political views. They were deemed as conspiracy theorists, and many others whose opinion about certain matters didn't line up with the narrative of the left. Or are we going to keep censoring those that are of the right? What is going to happen here? How is Twitter going to change? These are questions we need to ask, and I want to get your answers below, because I don't really know personally. I'm just having the conversation here. Let's keep listening.
Things that fact checkers said was wrong, but ended up mainstream news. It was true all along.
Good point as well. There are many things that were said was wrong. There were things that fact checkers came after and say, you know what, this is not supposed to be, this was wrong, take their post down. And later on they came back and say, you know what, it was true. Well, these are good things to think about. I wonder if Elon Musk is going to come back and let these truth be truths on this platform. Good questions.
Elon, got a few questions and that's it. Can be for free speech and have hate speech rules. You gotta pick. Are you still on the team of the elites, or have you switched? When you pitting first the people of AI, you gotta pick a.
Good point. So when you have hate speech and free speech combating one another, now we want to have free speech on the platform, but at the same time there is hate speech. There are those who are speaking in a way to incite violence, to bring about issues in our world. So how do you monitor the two? How do you keep freedom open and at the same time dealing with those whose intent is evil? So these are things we need to think about. We can't overlook these facts.
Elon, the people of AI, you gotta pick. Elon,
good questions.
Got a few questions and that's it. Hey, Elon. It's the God of the world and you gon' pick Elon. Hey, Elon, I got some questions. Something ain't right. You still atheist, or have you given yourself over to Christ? You still socialist or just trying to gain fans on the right? Cause in the end, we gon' be the ones that's paying the price. Hey.
It is going off right now, and good point, right? Elon, I'm great. I'm happy that you're doing so great financially. You are changing the scope of the world. You are the man of our century. I value the work that you do. Now, the big question to be asked is that when are you going to surrender to Christ? After all it is said and done, is Elon going to be saved? I just don't know, because God works in mysterious ways. I leave the judgment with men. But yet, as a Christian, I wonder, I'm concerned more about his soul salvation than the changes he's making in our world. Don't get me wrong. I respect the man, but the fact of the matter is, he's on point with these questions too.
Elon, what's up with Neuralink? Has anything changed? Are you still trying to put chips up in everyone's brains? I know that.
That's a problem. I did speak about Neuralink and him putting chips in people's brain. We gotta talk about that. That's not really something that I will deem to be a positive thing. Now, I know he's gonna make a connection here to Revelation 13. I do study Revelation 13. It does not speak of a particular chip in people's brain. Not at all. It's more spiritual. It's more mental. It's more based on a choice thing. But nevertheless, it's good to know that this idea of putting a Neuralink in somebody's brain to get to know what they're thinking, it might sound good, but in reality, how much more are you infringing on the mind of the people, in the conscience of the people, and the will of the people, in the name of what? Technology, making money, improvement, advancement? I'm a little bit concerned about that as well.
Health benefits that you so quick to claim, but I heard you say it's the information we can obtain. Elon, that sound like great wonders to me. I righteously criticize you when people coming for me. I know you can change, and that's what I wanted to be, but I'm not the type to agree with somebody just to agree. That sound like Antichrist, sound like Revelation 13. Please explain to me how it's not exactly what it seems, and I'm willing to listen.
Yeah, it does seems to be that Revelation 13 is speaking about this chip going in somebody's brain as the mark of the beast concept, and the fact of the matter is, it is not the case. It does feel that way, but Revelation 13 is not talking about a chip at all. It's really dealing with this idea of a false man-made religion that people will choose to accept and follow, and that will come about as the mark of the beast. It doesn't really have anything to do with technology. Now, while it is true, technology does have a part to play as far as controlling the finances or by boycotting the people's financial status means buying and selling, that is a fact. But as far as the mark of the beast being a chip in the brain, a chip in the hand, whatever it is, FRIG chips and all that concept, it is not biblical.
Elon ain't trying to be mean, but it sounds like you trying to play like you the king of kings. You said that we should stop fighting AI and mix with it, and you said it on Joe Rogan podcast, it was explicit. I know, you think if we can beat them, then just get with it. I picked the people of America first, I might nick with it. These just my concerns, I hope you understand. I've seen Christians leave God just to put their faith in man. They're gonna say that God can use anybody for his plan to justify why you so desperate to get the upper hand. Elon,
these are good questions, man.
Personal, I just care about the people, Elon.
Yeah, non-personal.
Either a hero or the villain. You good or you evil.
Powerful. These are good questions to ask, right? How are we looking to Elon in today's society? It does appear that Elon is presented as the savior of the world. Although I know that's not what the intent is, but it does appear to be that way. So he's putting out some really solid, serious questions here. Although I don't believe you worship Elon, I don't. I know most of us don't really care about that in that sense. But nevertheless, his influence is something we cannot underestimate. Come on, let's be honest. This man is doing it. Now, I love the fact that he is talking about some of these things, putting a lot of questions out there. And this is what I love about Bryson Gray. This is my second reaction to his video. One thing I noticed, he gives you food for thoughts, man. This is a thinking individual. He put things out there in a way, not the way the world is going about it, but he tried to stand for what he believes as a Christian, and yet put out really good reflective questions, things for us to really think and discuss about. But much more could be said about this, man. But I want to close up with this final word right here. Simple as that. Here it is in Psalm 46 verse 10. Be still, God says, and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. And I just want to pause right here by letting you know, the one who is really and ultimately the one who gets the glory, the one who sits on the throne, the one who runs all things, his name is God. And we ought to give him his rightful place in our hearts. And he says, be still. Don't put your confidence in men now. Don't put your confidence in Elon as if he's the savior of the world. Great things that he's doing here. He's changing the scope of our society. He's changing the world. I give him credit, but he is not my savior. Elon needs a savior as well. And by the way, you need a savior. And by the way, once you meet that savior, be still and know that God is the one who is in charge ultimately. And I believe some of the moves that are taking place right now, as we may be seeing it in the light of buying free speech, buying Twitter, free speech and all that, all the fears and concerns and questions that people are asking, which is fine. But ultimately, I still believe God is in charge. We don't have to really worry. We need to make sure that our lives are in his hands. Much more could be said. I want to hear your thoughts and opinion in the comment below. I appreciate this content. What is your perspective about Elon buying Twitter? Where do you stand with that? Free speech, hate speech, how are you going to monitor all of that? Where do you think Elon is really trying to take this platform? What are some things you are thinking about? Have you found out any things that I have yet to discover? Please let me know. I'm willing to learn and understand this much more, and that's why I'm just asking questions here. I don't really know. I'm not making any statements. If I had one thing to say, I will say what the scriptures say. You need to be still. Don't put your trust in men, put your trust in God, because ultimately he is the one who is in charge. Until next time, God bless you, and as always, look unto Jesus and live by faith. Have a good one. Bye.